Hello everyone and welcome to class. So here I have my Emoji Classroom. I have the class rules, and our objective for this lesson is students will be able to recount a well-elaborated event or a short sequence of events with detail. I have a pre-lesson video, so hopefully you saw that before starting this lesson. Then I have a few other links for later on. So to begin, I'm going to go over some important vocabulary for this section. So first we have narrative, a story that is told or written. A personal narrative, a story from one's life or experience. This is one we're going to focus on the most because we're going to focus on personal narrative, not just narrative in general. Then we have introduction, the part of a book that leads up to and explains what will be found in the main part. Next is event, something of importance that happens. Details, an individual feature, fact, or item. Transitions, a word or a phrase that connects one idea to another. So this one, for example, could be first, next, then, and finally. Those are some good examples of transitions. Conclusion, the last part of something, or the end. Setting, time and place of a story. And characters, a person in a story. Alright, so now I'm going to give my own example of a personal narrative. So like I said, personal means something that happened to yourself, as you can see here. Story from one's life or experiences. So this is something I experienced myself. So I'm going to go through it and we'll see exactly what you will be required to learn. So start with an indent. So for my first sentence, one Thanksgiving, I went to visit family in Los Angeles. So this is my introduction. I'm introducing what my paragraph is going to be about. Now to go into detail. When my family and I were going back home, we had to pass the mountains. Next sentence. I'm going to start this next one with a transition phrase, so it'll be then. So then after having to go home, as we drove towards the mountains, we saw snow. I was very excited. So this is a good example of like a thought I want to put in as my description. So I was very, very happy to go to see that there was snow in the mountains. So next, next. We stopped at a rest area and got out to play in the snow. I had a snowball fight with my family and I made snowmen. Alright, for my last, I'm going to be 2 sentences. I'm going to go with finally to show that I am ending this paragraph soon. We had to leave and go back home. It was a lot of fun. So there's my paragraph. So as you can tell, I have my introduction, my important details, my transitional phrases like then, next, and finally. And of course, the finally, these last two sentences, is me closing my paragraph. So next, I'm going to show you a student example. So of course, this is a lot simpler. It doesn't have to be as complicated as the one I did. So this one's my trip to Mexico. One time I went to Mexico. It was a blast. I met people there. I went horseback riding. I saw a box holding an armadillo. I went to a waterfall. I tried to catch a frog with one leg. I couldn't catch it. It was fun in Mexico. So we have to go over this and see what was done properly, what could be done better, and what examples are shown of a personal narrative. So of course, this is personal because it's talking about this student's trip to Mexico, so it's something that they went through. One time in Mexico, it's a pretty good introduction because it's telling us that it's going to be about Mexico. It was a blast. It was a blast. I met people there. So all of these are good details, but as you could probably tell, we're missing transitions. So it's just very jumping from one thing to the next and not really transitioning properly. So it's just jumping around too much. So of course we could add first, somewhere around here. First I met people there. Then I went horseback riding. Next I saw a box holding an armadillo, and so on. And then of course, finally, it was fun in Mexico. So they could end it and show that it's the ending of their paragraph. So of course, those are some things that could be thought about when you're doing your own, because you will be having to do your own. Now, it's quiz time, so here you could pause it, but first you could go to Google Classroom. I have a link, and I also have a link on it on the second slide, as you can see here. You could just go into Google Classroom, open this, and click on the link. It'll take you to forms. So here you could fill out the quiz, make sure to put your name. Each question is 1 point, so it's only 3 points because there's 3 questions. So a definition, you have to tell me what definition of setting is. Then you have to read a story and answer a question about the characters. And lastly, a true or false question. So make sure you get that done. Now, last but not least, we will have an independent practice. So for your homework, you'll have to write your own personal narrative. And you'll have to write about one of these 3 prompts. What was your best summer vacation? What is it that you did? So give me details. What activities did you do throughout the summer, like go swimming or go to a party, stuff like that. Or another one is, what is your best holiday memory and why? So this one, I have a good example. It's like what I did for my personal narrative. So my best holiday memory was going to visit family in Los Angeles for Thanksgiving, and I explained why and gave detail. Lastly, what was your best birthday and why was it the best? So again, just details like, did a lot of family come and visit you? Did you get a really good present that you always remember? Things like those. And of course, some instructions. Paragraphs will need to have an introduction, a middle with detail, and an end to their narrative. It must be at least 1 paragraph in length, and the sentences must be detailed and descriptive. So if we go back to this, these are not bad, but you can make it a lot more detailed than this, and it would be a lot better. So I want to see that you understand exactly what the different parts of narrative are. Make sure you add the transitional phrases. I don't want it to be too jumpy. I want it to be nice and smooth. And then finally, when you're done, you could go and visit the classroom again. And I have a little bit of extra help here. So it's on YouTube. I have different videos that kind of show the process of writing a personal narrative. So make sure to check those out if you're having any trouble with writing your homework. Thank you very much and have a nice day.